don't know me, I am Michelle Gatta. I'm the Director of Admissions for Carroll, and I know that this is a little bit out of the ordinary as to how we are doing school visits, but I still wanted to make sure that we did get to see you guys, especially students, and I hope those of you that did receive your swag bags at school today enjoy all the fun stuff that you would have gotten if me and the team here were in front of you in class. But we're happy that you could join us tonight. Just a couple housekeeping rules. Make sure that you do stay muted the whole time, because there will be static that gets picked up as we would be talking if you were at home or, you know, whatever. So just stay muted. And then there's a Q&A section at the bottom if you hover over the bottom of your screen. When it comes time for your questions to us, we just ask that you type it in the Q&A. I'll read the question and I'll throw it to one of our student ambassadors, you know, that are on. So I'm going to start. I'm going to hand it over to the Finley family from St. Catharines. They're going to introduce themselves to you briefly and just talk to you a little bit about what they love at Carroll. And then the rest of our student ambassadors will introduce themselves as well. So Mayor, Stephen, and Mrs. Finley, you guys can take it away.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Finley. I'm a junior at Carroll. Some stuff I participate in, I do a lot of sports. I do tennis, basketball, and lacrosse. And then I do a lot of the clubs like Respect Life, CSC, and then Best Buddies. I love a lot. My favorite thing about Carroll is definitely like it definitely has like a family feel, and there's kids coming from all over, but like I think it's just so cool because my grade school was like a really concentrated area, but now it's like kids all over, so I love getting to meet people. And then I chose Carroll as an 8th grader because I'm the 5th of 7 kids, and I had 4 older siblings who all went to Carroll and loved it. And my brother was a senior when I was a freshman, so I just thought it would be fun to go to school with him, and I really love it so far. So, and then my best advice for the group of 8th graders that I'm talking to is just like going to high school with an open mind and just try new things, and don't be scared to like go out of your way to meet people or try a new club or a new sport, because like it's high school, you know, you're still figuring everything out, so it's just fun to like try new things, I'd say. And Steven?
I'm Stephen Finley. I'm a freshman at Carroll. I play sports at Carroll. My favorite's probably basketball, and my favorite thing about Carroll is definitely all the people there. Like, everyone's been so nice, and I've only been there for a couple weeks. I chose Carroll as an 8th grader, same reason as my sister did. It's been like my family school. All my siblings went there. And my advice for a group of 8th graders I'm talking to is to try new things. Like, if you haven't played a sport or you want to try a new club, definitely go try and do it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Marita Finley, and I really, really love Carroll because I am actually 86 grad of Carroll, and I loved it so much when I was there. I loved everything it stood for. They're my best friends today, these incredible high school friends that I made, and we were from all over. I think that's what's the greatest thing about Carroll. It's really, truly is diverse. A lot of schools talk about diversity. If you want diversity, you go to Carroll. There's people from every background, and they all come together, and the common bond is wanting that spiritual dimension, wanting that, you know, that really good, strong Catholic faith teaching in just a great atmosphere of incredibly nice people. Their 4 older siblings have already been there. They all hang out with these great packs of kids all the time, Carroll friends. And I think that besides the spiritual aspect and the incredibly well-rounded curriculum that Carroll offers the kids, I love the location and the campus. It is gorgeous. It is close. We can get to everything. They can sign up for everything. They can be in athletics and clubs, which is not the same at a lot of schools. You have to pick. And I just think the location and the transportation availability has made it really, really accessible and convenient for my family. So many, many reasons. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'm sticking with the St. Catharines crew. I'm going to turn it over to Haley and Peyton Nord.
Hi, I'm Haley Nord. I'm a senior at Carroll. I participate in National Honor Society Student Council. I'm chair of the event this year. I also play field hockey, and I'm involved in CSC, which is like a community service.
Hale, you're cutting out just a little bit. Sorry to interrupt
My favorite
you.
thing about Carroll would definitely be the community and the. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the last thing you heard?
Just about CSC? Just what you participate in?
Okay. Sure. My favorite thing about Carroll is the community and how close of like a family everyone is. Everyone kind of knows everyone, and how easy it is to get involved. I chose Carroll as an 8th grader because my sister also went to Carroll and she loved it, but it's also the first time I visited Carroll. Everyone was like super, super welcoming, and that really like sealed the deal for me. My best advice for the incoming class, or possibly incoming class, would be to definitely get involved. It's the best way to make friends, and what Mary said, go into it with an open mind.
My name is Peyton Nord, and I'm a freshman at Carroll. I chose this school mainly because my sister goes here, and I play field hockey and lacrosse at Carroll. And so far, everyone has been super nice and friendly. And my best advice that I would give to an 8th grader coming to Carroll would definitely be joining like a club or a sport, because you can meet so many new people in that way.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So next up, we have Meg and Mccann from Mother Teresa. Over to you, Meg.
Hey guys, my name's Megan. I'm a senior. I play volleyball. I've been playing volleyball for 4 years, and I've been playing there my whole life. I'm involved in student ambassadors, and I used to do CSC. But I would say my favorite thing about Carroll is definitely, like Haley said, like the community and like how everyone just like kind of comes together. We're all definitely from like different backgrounds, but I think that like the Carroll kind of like brings us together, and like the religious part of it, like we can all like, since it's a Catholic school, we can all like kind of worship under the same like beliefs and stuff, which is really cool. And all the different like service trips and stuff that we do, it's definitely a good way to get involved, because you get to like go, like I went to Harlan, Kentucky, I went to Steubenville. It was definitely like one of my favorite experiences. But I think advice I would have for like the incoming class would definitely be like, take your time, like enjoy it while you're there. Like it's definitely like the best experience. And I would say definitely get involved.
Awesome. Thanks, Meg. Okay, so now we have 2 students on that used to go to Cardinal Foley. I'm going to start with Ryan Holmes. Ryan, and then Mirabelle, you can kind of bring up the rear. And then for all of you on there from the grade schools, Mr. Quintos, our athletic director, and myself will talk to you more about logistical things at Carroll. So Ryan, take it away.
Hi, I'm Ryan Holmes. I'm a sophomore at Carroll, and I swim. I'm in ACT, and I'm also a member of Best Buddies. That's probably one of my favorite parts of Carroll. Another part of one of my favorite parts of Carroll is the teachers and administration, because they're always there for me and they're always helping. And I chose Carroll because I got a scholarship, and I liked the community that I saw when I shadowed, because it was small.
Ryan, you're frozen a little bit. Ryan, can you hear us? All right, Ryan froze. Sorry about that. Mirabelle, why don't you jump in while we wait on Ryan to unfreeze?
Absolutely Hi guys, my name is Mirabelle. I'm a senior at Carroll this year. I participate in a lot of different things. I'm part of the National Honor Society. I do Best Buddies and the Unified Bocce team, which is really awesome. That's pretty new to our school, and we're one of the only Catholic schools, if not the only, to actually have that sports team. And it's the Italian sport bocce, and we play it with students with disabilities who actually go to St. Catharines Day School, which is attached to Carroll. And it's a really wonderful, enriching experience, and I have to say I truly love it. And I do Best Buddies as well, and Community Service Corps, and the History Club, and those are just a few to name some of them as well. My favorite thing about Carroll, as many of my peers before have said, is definitely the community. I've met so many wonderful people during my years there, and it's very welcoming and inviting, and it always has been throughout all my time there. And I really appreciated that because, you know, it is a new beginning, but I always felt very at home at Carroll. And I chose Carroll as an 8th grader because both my mom and my sister went there. And my sister definitely encouraged me to go to the school because she absolutely adored it. And I'm really happy I did because I love it as well. And the best advice that I can give to you guys is enjoy the simplicity and excitement of your year this year, but definitely don't be nervous about high school. It's something that should be looked forward to, not dreaded. It just gives you the opportunity to expand your circle and get involved in new things and broaden your horizons. And Carroll is definitely a great place to do that at. So thank you guys so much, and best of luck with everything this year.
Thanks, Mirabelle. Ryan, are you on Frozen? Yes? Just unmute yourself and you can continue. Go ahead.
How much did I miss, or did you miss?
I was just, you could start over.
Right. I'm Ryan Holmes. I'm a sophomore at Carroll. I swim. I'm in ACT and Archbishop Carroll Theater Society. And I also do Best Buddies, and I love Best Buddies because it's very unique to Carroll. Most Catholic schools don't have that. And can you still hear me? Okay, just making sure. I like Carroll because of the administration. They're very helpful, and they're always there for me. I also love Carroll because of my engineering class, Project Lead the Way, and we're learning how to 3D model and all different types of engineering. Any advice I'd give to 8th graders is to be confident and to branch out, because that's what helped me. I never thought I'd be in Best Buddies or swimming in high school, but yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. So Mr. Quintos, I'll let you go first since a lot of the students on tonight are student athletes, and Mirabelle even brought up the Unified Bocce team. So take it away.
Hello, everybody. It's awesome that you are here tonight, and I have a couple seconds to talk about athletics. Who Carroll is, what you're getting involved with is, this week we've been shut down for, I don't know, forever, since March. We were given the green light on Friday. Our kids are playing today, okay? That's how fast we turned it around. That's how committed we are to playing high school sports. This truly, us turning this around, I just got off the field because I coach too. And this truly is the greatest testament to Carroll and its commitment to athletics. I can't even tell you how many other schools, this is going to take weeks for them to get going, not Carroll. Friday, we found out right on the field. Monday, all of our kids out there playing, participating in the sports that they love. That's who the community really is. We care deeply about sports. We're passionate. My biggest message to you is, I know you have a ton of choices and there's a lot going on, but just remember one thing about Carroll: opportunity. Okay? You have the opportunity to come in right away and to play on a varsity, junior varsity roster right away. Most of our sports, we have lots of openings, lots of opportunity. We have a ton of sports to choose from. Many of our kids come in, they think they're a soccer player, and they end up being, a football player, tennis player. That is really important, that because of the opportunities that we have, you get to experiment and try new things. Playing in the PCL, which is our league, the Philadelphia Catholic League, is the best league in the country. I'm convinced of that. Nothing is like playing in a PCL game. So when you play at Carroll, that's who we play against, some of the best. Probably the biggest opportunity that we give you is I want you, and it is really encouraged, that you play other sports and you do other activities. This isn't just come and play one sport. It's you're encouraged to play multiple sports. We have kids that are in the band, in the show. We have kids that play, that fence, that run, that play 3 different things and multiple activities. So my message tonight is know who we are. You get involved with Carroll athletically, you're coming to a high standard because that's what we want. And also know when you get here that we want you to be more. We want you to go and do more and be more. So thank you for having me. Mirabelle did bring up unified sports. We do offer something called bocce, and I'm going to embarrass her. Mirabelle is one heck of a bocce player. Thanks for having me, and good luck. And anytime you have any questions, you can find me on the website. I'll get back to you in seconds and try to help you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Mr. Quintos. Okay, so I am going to talk to the parents a little bit just about the admissions process aspect. As I'm talking, though, if you do have any questions for the students or even for me or Mr. Quintos, please start filling up the Q&A section. Right now, we do have 2 questions in there, which we will get to. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you want to know about Carroll. I'll go into a little bit just highlighting the different points that we would highlight usually at a school visit as well. But please don't hesitate to ask us a question. Think of this as, your school visit that, you might have experienced as a 7th grader last year, or if you didn't experience it, what you've probably heard about. So the first thing is, as you've heard from pretty much everybody, in getting involved is a big thing at Carroll, and I 100% second, third, fourth that. It's really awesome to see all of our kids do so much. I know in high school for me, I kind of set my mind on a couple things and didn't really branch out. At Carroll, it's the complete opposite, and I love to see that. A lot of our students did talk about a legacy. Carroll, our slogan is leave your legacy. There are definitely, families that are Carroll legacies, but we want any student that wants to leave a mark on Carroll to come and make that, a legacy. As Tom, or Mr. Quintos has pointed out, Mirabelle Shore, leaving a legacy with unified bocce, that could be you. I always talk about when I've gone to school visits and different, kids and faculty members have come with me that, if there's something you want to do that Carroll doesn't have yet, we want you to be passionate about that and bring in other students and even faculty members, as your moderators, to be passionate about that as well. So we don't turn down ideas. If you have an idea for a club or anything like that, bring it to the attention of our administration. So maybe we can get it, something started at Carroll for you. It's going to be work, but if you're taking the initiative to start it, there's definitely plenty of people that will help you. Along the lines of some of the things that our students mentioned, besides, the sports that you already know about, Mr. Quintos and Mirabelle did hit on unified bocce. But best buddies, I think a couple, students did talk about, and that is a club that we're linked up, and it does have to do with unified bocce as well, with St. Catharines Day School students. And St. Catharines Day School is a school for students with special needs, and it's actually right at Carroll. So they are in the building, with us. They have their own separate lunches and classrooms and faculty and staff, but our students actually have the opportunity to be best buddies, with these students, through the club and even maybe a class if, your child is interested in learning about special education. Something else that I noted that Ryan talked about was Project Lead the Way, and that is Carroll's very, very unique engineering STEM course progression. And it starts in the freshman year. This class right now, it would be our second cohort. So this is only the second full year that we've had this option. And that is for students who are very, very interested in getting involved in engineering, robotics, like science-based learning for the future and for their careers. So Mr. Cummings is our project Lead the Way teacher, and he does a fantastic job, with that course progression. And if anyone does have any questions about that, I will direct them, to Ryan, since this is his second year in the class, and he can answer them for you. So in regards to admissions, though, this is admission season, and there are a few, main things that you guys at home do want to be doing. Obviously, this is one of them. If you haven't submitted an application yet, you also want to do that as soon as you can. That is on our website. And you would fill out the application and then be able to upload your 7th grade final grades and your most recent standardized testing scores on there as well. You should have copies of them at home. If the school does want you to, request them, that's fine as well. We will work with you to make sure everything is, fully uploaded for your application to be reviewed later this fall. The next thing that you want to be doing is, if you are interested in a merit scholarship, we do have 3 scholarship tests coming up this fall, and you want to get on the website again and sign up for that test. The test that's coming up this weekend is closed. Registration will close tonight, so last minute you can get on, but you probably are going to have to start looking at the 2 other test options later in October and 1 in November. Again, all of that is right on the website. There's a page on the front page of the admissions website, or a box, I should say, that says the Carroll Pandemic Admissions Information page. That it should be your go-to page to get any information that you need about this year's admission season. It will be up there all year. So if you get everything completed that I just talked about, you'll be notified about a merit scholarship if you win one. By December, you'll get an acceptance letter as long as everything for your application is in by November 30th. If you don't have everything in by November 30th, or if you have a friend that's not sure if they, want to apply to Carroll, there's still time. November 30th, I just use as a target date so that you do get priority information, but we are a rolling admissions process through the springtime as well. So that's my 2 bits on, the admissions process. If there are any questions specific to the admissions process, please ask them, because your question is going to answer so many people's questions. So don't hesitate to ask a question that you might think, oh, is that, not a great question? Trust me, it is. We don't turn away from any questions. So I will let you guys at home start to think of any questions that you have. There are 3 down here so far, so I'll open them up and I will see who can answer them the best. Okay. So the first question on here would probably go to Mr. Quintos, and it is about cuts on sports teams.
So in very, very few instances do we cut. There's usually enough roster spots that are typically we find a roster spot for most kids. Now, as freshmen, what happens is, if we have enough interest for a freshman team, then we will have a freshman team. And that's really important to us, because we want to make sure that those kids have an opportunity to play, as freshmen are coming in, and developmentally most belong in that freshman group. So if the numbers warrant, we'll have a freshman team. Typically in basketball and baseball, if the numbers warrant, we'll have a freshman team. Football, same thing. Otherwise, those kids, the freshmen that come in, will try out for JV, and most of the time those kids make the team. So it's usually not a problem. We usually don't cut. However, there is some times where we have to.
Great, thank you. And then there is a question here about anything related to skiing. Like I said, we are always more than welcome to, talk and brainstorm ideas for clubs, but unfortunately we don't have a skiing team. Any upperclassmen, Haley, Mirabelle, Mary, was there ever a ski trip or anything when you guys have been at Carroll? No? Well, for the person who asked the question about skiing, if you come to Carroll and you would like to start something with skiing, I'm sure you will find many people who have that passion as well. So the next question that I have here is about crew and jazz band. So yes to both. Mr. Quintos, if you want to chat about crew, and then I can hit on jazz band tonight.
Crew is awesome at our school, and it is a little nook of real success in our building, or niche, I'm sorry, of success. And it's one of those activities where you always trend upwards. You always get better. Our coach, our leader of our program is also assistant principal and also of academics. It's Mr. Gennaro, extremely talented. He did crew in college, and his brother's involved, and he was just at Temple a couple of years ago, participating at Division I level. Very well connected into the crew community. It is, like I said, it's a little niche that's just taking off at Carroll, and we're getting better and better at it. We're very blessed to have our own training room in our building. So it is really a three sports. So it's fall, winter, spring. But I got to tell you, today I learned one of our football players, this is great. This is a totally only a Carroll thing. One of our football players also is rowing, doing crew right now at the same time as football is going on. Unbelievable story, great kid, just wants to do both. And we figure it out, our coaches figure it out, make it work. And he did 2 training sessions today. It was unbelievable. I got to see it firsthand, so it was pretty cool. Love our crew program, love the coaches.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Quintos. Yes, we do have a jazz band. There's actually a lot of options in regards to band at Carroll. We have a pep band that play at the football games. We have a pit that plays for the Archbishop Carroll Theater Society shows. We have a wind ensemble, a jazz band. We also have a piano lab as well, which you can actually take as a class. Band would also be a class for any student who wanted to take that, built right into the schedule every day. There are also options for private lessons at lunch periods or study halls. I don't know about after school this year because just with everything that's going on with COVID, but there are definitely plenty of music options. And Mr. Larimer, our band director, is also part of the Eagles drum line, which is pretty cool. But if he were here tonight, he would tell you that you don't even need experience. If it's something that, again, like Mary, like Megan, like Haley, like everyone pretty much said, get involved, try something new at Carroll. That's definitely something that he encourages. There's another question here. Oh, just someone thanking us. That's fine. Oh, wait, one did pop up. Okay, so this is a question for me, and it was something that I was going to get to at the end of the presentation. So it's talking about opportunities to visit the school and see it in person. Unfortunately, right now, the Archdiocese has put a hold on outside visitors to Carroll and to all of our schools really in general. But on October 11th, there will be a virtual experience tour that will be coming to you live from our website that will be posted. At that time, you'll be able to click on the link and navigate to different departments and offices and hear from different people at Carroll about the school. We will also have one day where you can walk through the school. That will be in October as well, but it's going to be very, very limited. We kind of have to do it as a trial run. If there is a lot of interest, we might see if we can get approval for a second day, but that'll be a time where you can really just walk through the school with a tour guide for about 20 minutes just to be on campus. But visiting the school is not going to be an option for the fall. Something else that we are in the process of putting in place is a virtual shadow day. I know that kind of sounds a little bit crazy, but our student council president is going to use her GoPro and go to different classes throughout the day. Our tech teacher, because Mr. Gallagher is phenomenal and has actually a film degree from Drexel, is going to cut it up so it's not a full day long, so it's not something that you have to sit and watch for hours, but just about a half hour to give you a taste of what a shadow day at Carroll would be like. Hopefully, for the second semester, we are given the green light to have regular tours or shadow visits for the students, for that second semester. But at this time, it is still a virtual option, with the exception of that one walkthrough day, which more information will be posted soon about. Does anyone have any questions for any of our students? Here's something coming up that's for me. The current freshman class is about 150 students. Our sophomore class is the biggest with about 170, and then the junior and senior class are about the same. We target anywhere from 150 to 190 students in a grade. But back to, if anyone has any questions for the kids, that's why they're here. We love when they get to talk to you. Any of you guys up there, though, on the panel, and even Mrs. Finley, is there anything else that you would like to add to the presentation for the kids at home? If you want to, you can unmute yourselves. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. I participate in Patriothon, and that is a dance marathon for the children at CHOP who are sick. And so that is a really wonderful experience. We do that every year, and there's a lot of preparation and fundraising involved. And that I really do love, and I think that is unique and special about Carroll for sure. And I just wanted to mention that and throw it out there in case any of you guys would be interested in that. It's a really great service opportunity at Carroll as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Mirabelle. For those of you that didn't hear it, it was Patriothon. And if you've seen the Penn State thon, it is very similar to that. Anyone else?
Thanks so much, Michelle. I just want to follow up and say that I really can speak to the fact that there's so much that's offered. Mary and Stephen are my 5th and 6th child, and they're all very different, and they've all had very different interests, sports interests, activities, and there really was something for everybody and a great welcoming group, which is so awesome. And it really is pretty cool that you can tell your kids, if you're having a tough day, stop into the chapel. It's so beautiful. They have daily mass there, and just an incredibly welcoming guidance department that I found. I mean, I've had, conversations over the years where the guidance has checked in with me and, what can we do? This specific child really has this specific need or interest, and let's try to really focus on that. So that's really the biggest thing, an incredibly welcoming community for whatever it is that your child really is, interested in.
Thanks, Mrs. Finley. That's a great point. We have talked and touched on the faith life a little bit, but just so, you all at home know, Carroll is a Catholic school first and foremost, but we do have students who are not Catholic that come to Carroll, and either, do actually start to develop an interest in faith life. And we have, priests at Carroll that do help with students who want to become Catholic. But if you don't, and you just like the idea of the community feel that we have, there's nothing forced upon you other than you do have to take 4 religion classes to graduate. But our school campus minister says it the best. Father Mark says, we meet you where you are in regards to your faith. So it shouldn't deter anyone that's, a little bit more uncomfortable. But if you are really strong in your faith already, there are so many different opportunities. Megan talked about our service trips. A couple other students touched on community service corps, CSC, and the retreats. So there's definitely a lot to offer in that as well. 2 more questions did pop up. One is a really cool question, and Haley, I'm going to throw it to you since you are on the student council board. What would be a favorite tradition that you have at Carroll? You have anything that you might think of?
I mean, I feel like there's a bunch. One of the favorite traditions are the retreats, I would have to say. We just started a new one for sophomores called a Compania, and I led that one. And I also already went on Kairos, and that's a senior retreat, but it's always something that kids look forward to. There's also freshman and junior retreats, of course, and those are always a fun day. It's not just about faith, but it's also about like bonding with your classmates, and that's really interesting. But there's so many things throughout the year, especially in the auditorium, where the whole community of Carroll just gets together to do something fun. And I feel like we're always occupied and always have something fun to look forward to, whether it's a school dance or a sport event.
Awesome. I saw Ryan, you had put your hand in there.
One of my favorite traditions is Stall Day, and it's a fundraiser for Thon, right?
Yep.
It's where we bring in coins or like all sorts of spare change and give it to our teachers. And before class starts, they have to count it all. And then if they finish it, then they get to teach class. But usually the students bring enough coins for that period to stall the class until the end of the period, and we just get to have fun during the class.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Meg, why don't you talk about our volleyball tradition of Dig Pink a little bit?
Okay, so Dig Pink is an event that we do, and it's kind of just like to raise awareness for breast cancer, obviously, but we like dress in all pink, and we sell baked goods there, and we usually wear like our pink warm-ups, and like we like advertise it like all through school. We get to wear our shirts during school just to like tell everybody to come. And it's usually one of like our bigger events where we get a bigger crowd. So it's a lot more fun when there's more like people watching us and like the crowd goes crazy. It's a really fun event.
Awesome. Anybody else have any favorite traditions? There's always homecoming. Go ahead, Mare.
I was gonna say homecoming week. Just like it's so fun, and like every day has a different theme, and we usually all like dress up for the theme of every day. And then on the last day, it's like the pep rally, and then either I think it's that night or the next night is the homecoming game that like everyone goes to. So I love that, and like football games and stuff are so fun. So.
Awesome. Freshmen, I know you're excited to get, your taste a little bit. It's a different year to start, but we hope that we can give you a taste of the Carroll spirit too. So there is one more question, and it's a teacher-student ratio size for most classes, so I will take that one. Right now, with COVID, there cannot be more than 16 students in a classroom at one time. So we have split the classes up, but usually on any given year, it would be about 24-1. Sometimes there are classes that are smaller. I know with specific electives, or we do have 17 AP classes, so those class sizes would be a little bit smaller. In regards to the academics, there is a course catalog on the Carroll website on the academics page. You can actually access at any time, and you can see all of the classes, that we do offer. Some do change from year to year. There might be some that are added or some that are subtracted out, but for the most part, the catalog that you would see on our website is what Carroll does offer. We do have about 15 more minutes. If anyone does have any last minute questions, please do, put them in the Q&A box. Again, for you guys at home, 8th graders, we are very excited to meet you when we can, but please do make sure you visit the pandemic information page on the Carroll admissions website if you haven't already, to see everything that you will need to know for this year. Deadlines and everything will start to be posted as well. So once we see, where the class is, I'll start to put out those deadlines. There are scholarship opportunities that are not Carroll related. For those of you that may have taken the Newman Scholarship test this past weekend, I believe it was. Congratulations for, being selected. And I also, wish, everybody, the best of luck. That is one opportunity. There is the Mcguire Scholarship opportunity through the Archdiocese as well. I know Peyton is a Mcguire Scholar. I think Haley, you might be too. And then there's also a couple more opportunities through the Archdiocese at the grade school level that your grade schools will tell you about. We have one scholarship for the performing arts. We usually have 6 or 7 students that win that every year. That's called the Nolan Scholarship. That will be posted in November, so that you'll have a couple months to get that in. All of the information, again, will be up on the website. And then in regards to financial aid, I usually do get some questions about that. I just will put that out there. It is available to start applying for on October 1st. So again, on the Carroll Admissions website, that's how you will fill it out. You won't hear anything from me about financial aid until the new year, because priority financial aid does go until December 31st for applications. But you are more than welcome to start that process. More information about financial aid will be sent later in the fall, though. So any last minute questions for tonight?
Can I do my favorite tradition?
Sure, Mr. Quintos. What is your favorite tradition?
No school has a better candy store than Archbishop John Carroll High School, and the person who runs it is a person that we all hold in high regard, and her name is Spesh. So when you do visit us, you'll get a chance to hit the candy store, and that is my favorite daily trip, so it's a tradition for me.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I forgot. Awesome. So I will end the session tonight. Please, again, as Mr. Quinto said before, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you do, like I said in the beginning, have a friend at school that might not have been able to get on tonight, please tell them, they will be able to see this. And that if they would like to jump on, there are other sessions that will be posted. It just won't be with, you won't see the familiar faces from your school, that you might have, or, be on with classmates. But we welcome anybody. It's, not a closed invitation. It is posted on the website all the different nights. So thank you all so much for joining in and tuning in with us. Again, any other questions, please feel free to ask, shoot an email, give us a call at school. And I hope that we do get to see you all soon. So thanks everybody. And to the panelists, thank you so much. Freshmen, I know you guys were a little quiet. That's okay. You are only 2 weeks in, but we hope that you guys are enjoying your time too. And this will be you guys leading it, in a couple years. So thanks everybody. And I hope everybody has a great night.